All right, so there's my sketchbook, um, and uh, and that's where I paint. This is a sketchbook that uses uh, mixed media paper. Mixed media paper is slightly it's heavier than in a regular sketchbook. I think it's a little bit lighter than watercolor paper usually is. And I like it because I like the surface of it better. It's got a kind of a, it's not as nubby and it's not as absorbent as watercolor paper. It's the paint stays on the surface better. So that's what I prefer. That's what I like to use, and so that's the way it goes. Um, so one of the things that I want to do before I start is I usually make a sketch, a little thumbnail sketch to work out my composition. Yesterday I did it one way, and so I want to kind of work out some different way of doing it so that, God forbid, I'm bored. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'll do a little square on my piece of paper. Um, so see, yesterday I did it uh, with the horizon really low, and so I guess I'll do it with it a little bit higher today. And I don't like to have the horizon in the middle because it um, creates a less interesting composition. So then let's see, here's the tree, and I'll make it kind of go down into the I'll change it the position a little bit so that it's down into the land a little bit more. And then I'll have the little bush on the side and the bush up here. And so I'll have more to do with the grass that's in this area. So the sun is coming from this direction, and I know that it's hard to tell. Uh, it looks like the sun is coming from two different directions in this painting, and so maybe it's you know uh, a sign of the apocalypse coming or something like that. But anyway, we won't worry about that for today. Oh, that could never happen. So anyway, I think that's the way I'll go. So I'm going to do my sketch, my drawing, and I like to draw this border just to give me a feeling of the space being confined. So there's the horizon, and then here's the tree, and here's the shadow, and then here's the other bushes in the background, and a bush here, which helps to balance it out. So anyway, I don't like to do the exact same thing twice, but So anyway, here we go. The colors that I'm using, this is my palette, and I'll kind of clean it off. A bit before I start. I'm using acrylic paint. And so I've got yellow, white, burnt sienna, ultramarine blue, and black. And then I've got this phthalo green here and this kind of orange color. And I don't know if I'll use those or not, but they were there from a different painting I was working on. And so we'll see if they come up. I use my paints in a more liquidy kind of a way, and I have them in these bottles. I got into this with some other things I was working on, another group of paintings I was working on, and so I've grown to like the more watery paint. So the idea behind this is that you can do complicated things, paint complicated things, if you learn how to view it in a simplified manner. So I'll try to show you that about right now. Okay, so I'll start. I'm going to start with some white. I like to mix right on the canvas a lot, and then I'll put in some red, some yellow, and some blue to make it green. And I want it a little bit more warm. I'm going to put in a little bit of brown to kind of gray it down a little bit. Brown and red and green are complementary colors. So when you add two complements together, the opposite complement, red is the complement of green, it makes the colors a little bit more grayed down and a little bit more realistic, because generally speaking, colors are not well, I forgot what I was going to say. So anyway, now I'll put the tree in. I'm going to use some brown and some black and some yellow, make a kind of a muted sort of a green. Maybe I'll make the tree go off the top of the page. I'm not sure yet. So there, and then as long as I'm at it, I'll make this the same color. And then the sky. I'll put some white paint on, and oh, that's too blue. Okay, so let's put some more white into it. And so this is looking pretty good. So now what we've got is I've got my start. My start is comprised of four shapes: this tree, this bush, the sky, and the grass. So then from here on, what I do is I work to refine those shapes. But for a start, this is a good way to start because the big shapes are what really tell the story. And so I start here, and then I add the details on, and it's a way to do a complicated painting in a simplified manner. So that's what we want. So I think that what I want to do is I'm going to go back into this color, the grass, the landscape, and make it lighter. And I want to make it warmer, so I'll add some more yellow. Okay. All right, so I think that looks like an okay value. Values are more important than colors, and that's what I'm going for now. So the next thing I'll do is I'll put the shadow in under the tree. And I'll do that with some blue. Well, see, my blue looks a little bit muted because I accidentally mixed some black in with it, and so it's okay. It'll be fine. And I'll put the stem in. The trunk, rather. And I like to put some branches in, and then I sort of hang the leaves on the branches, which is ironically the way a tree does it. All right, so so one of the things that I notice is over here. It's I don't know. It's almost kind of an orange to me. I like orange for that. So that's what I'm going to do. Put an orange in there. And then just mix it in here. And then what I think I'll do is I'll create a little bit of, in order to create distance in the grass, I will create a different plane. So one of the things that I do is I don't just follow the photograph out the window. I use it as a sketch for starting, and then the important thing is the is the painting. So that's what I I changed things to make the painting work, make the painting interesting. And so I'm creating another shape in here, and it's like there's a bit of a hill, and there is a bit of a hill. It's not exactly like this, but it's my stinking painting, you know. So anyway, there we go. So I think I'll work on the tree a little bit, some. I think I'll use a smaller brush. So so here we are again, and the green of the tree is a little lighter than what I've got. So I'm going to use some of this, that's not right. I think I'm going to use some of this phthalo green, blue shade. It's a golden color, golden paints. And I want to make it a little bit lighter a little bit warmer on the other side of the tree to give the feeling of sun. Now, see, one of the things that I do is I want the tree to show up against the sky. So that's the way that I determine how light or dark things should be is based on the color that's next to it. So if I want this tree to show up, it's got to be a little darker than the sky. And and then if it was too close to the same value, then what I would do is I would change the value of the sky. So it's a kind of a balancing, and you go back and forth, and okay. I don't like this idea of the tree going off the top of the page. So I'm gonna scrape off that paint, and I'll paint it over with some white. and then I'll repaint part of the sky. So I'll let it dry just a little bit for a few minutes. And then when I do things like that, then what I do is I work on another part of the painting. Um, so I'm I want this bush to look like it's farther away, like it's far away. So I'm putting a lot of blue into it. I'll put a little yellow into it. Try not to um, get the edges too hard, because I want it to see if the edges are soft, the thing looks like it's farther away, but we can't see it as clearly. So, and I think this tree looks better being a little bit shorter. So, all right, I think it's looking okay. So, what I want to do is I'm going to make this shadow be a little bit darker. I'm using some black for it. And so I think what I'll do is I'll work on the foreground some more. And I want it to be a very cool green underneath for the shadow underneath the tree. And I guess I want it to be darker than the tree color. So putting in some brown, and I'll put in some of this orange color, which will make it. I'm not sure that's doing it. I'm not sure that's the right thing. What I'll try doing is I'll make some green. And I'll put that in. So, so there you go. And then I want to create a strong, kind of a strong separation between the flat ground and the ground that's going up on a hill, because the sun hits them in different ways. And so put a little water on my brush. All right. So this tree is the star of the show. So I want to make that obvious. So I'm using this white um, to fit the shapes, and then I'll go in it towards the end and um, make the sky blue again. And using a little bit of black and yellow for this. That's a nice green. I like it when the leaves are look like they're not even attached to the tree. So then what I'll do is I'll put some holes in the trees. And the holes in the trees often come right next to a limb. So, so I want to create some like activity that's happening here. I like to use brown and green together. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And then have some shadows that are near the bottom. So See, so I want the tree to show up against the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the sky down a little farther. Put a little bit of blue into it. All right, I think that's okay. Okay. Um, I'm going to call that a finish for now, at least. I mean, if I was doing if I was doing this for uh, in a more serious way, I'd probably work on it some more. But for now, I think it's okay. So thanks. So thanks a lot for watching, and I have classes every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Central Daylight Saving Time or Standard Time, as you know, we're going to change pretty soon, and it'll be Standard Time again. But anyway, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. You can look it up. It's the Chicago, and so I teach every morning, and it's every Tuesday morning. It's pretty much like this. It's uh, uh, 4 classes for $100. You don't have to come to class each time. You have to take some time off for a week or two. You can do that. You won't be penalized. And it comes to you via Zoom. And so my email address is Fred at fredbellpaintings.com. Drop me a line and let me know that you want to take the class, and then we'll figure out how you can pay for it. Maybe probably either PayPal or a check. So anyway, thank you for watching, and see you later. Bye.